Okay, hello everybody. As you can see, I am here. And as you can see by the title of this video, we should hopefully be getting some pretty cool things today. Or not today, later. You can see my beautiful array of Funko Pop, Jurassic franchise stuff. And a whalebone. And some other stuff. But, as you can see before me, I've got lots of different things. We have been doing research, guys, for so long. Look at all that. Look at all that paper. There's still some over there, too. And I just put out a few. Guys, we have some good stuff. Hopefully, we don't get skunked, because that would suck. You know what? Let's not show my bed, because it's a mess. You know what? Go ahead. Look at my bed. It's a mess. Messy bed. But we've got a ton of stuff. I will see you guys in an epic time lapse that will most likely have no sound. Unless I can find some royalty-free music. That would be pretty cool. Bait and tackle. Well, hello everybody. You guys are probably wondering why I'm here instead of with a GoPro on. Well, I brought it. I did all the stuff that I was gonna, and then I never put it on. But I'm glad I didn't, because it was a fun experience. I didn't want to have to bother with the GoPro. So, I'm just gonna talk about what happened. So, 4-hour drive there. I can put up a time lapse I made. 4-hour drive there. This was through Alligator Alley. So that was Alligator Alley was pretty cool. Halfway through Alligator Alley was where we made our first stop to fish. After this long car drive, and I hope it's over by now, after this long car drive, we decided to stop halfway through Alligator Alley and fish a little, since I heard that Alligator Alley, the canals on the side of the road, can hold some bass, some peacock bass, some gar, some bowfin, some snakehead, a bit of everything. So, after just a little bit of time, if you go back and watch my unboxing of the mystery tackle box, you'll see I got some Z-Man super flukes or something. I caught a little largie in the Everglades on that fluke. That was pretty cool. That was something that I've always wanted to do, catch bass in the Everglades. There's the picture. Yeah, you're probably like, that's a toad. I know, it's a toad. Yeah. So, admire its beautifulness in the background. You can see the canal. That was my first bass out of Hillsborough County, actually. Okay. So, yes. So after that, my dad didn't get a single bite, and I didn't get a single, actually, I got one more bite, but I failed to set the hook. Something rolled up on the surface. I was like, yay! Cast all the way out there. He grabs it. I set the hook too fast. I don't hook him. Okay. We go to another spot in Alligator Alley. Didn't get a single bite, but we did see some 6-inch bluegills. That was pretty crazy. There's 8 6-inch bluegills sitting right by the dock, because we were fishing off of boat ramps by Alligator Alley, so that was pretty cool. We also saw some airboats. I think that's what you call them. Airboats. The boats that have the big fans on the back and go across the Everglades. So after that, we get back in the car, an hour drive to the next spot, where it was just a pond. Or no, yeah. Yes, it was just a normal pond. So we fished that for a little while, didn't get a bite, because, well, we didn't really stay too long because it didn't look too good. And so then we go off, we get some shiners at Fishing Game somewhere, at Miami, Kendall area. It's called Fishing Game. I'm sure you can look it up. He was really nice. He told us where to go, but the water, it must have not rained for a while in Miami, so the water was kind of low and it didn't look too good, so we didn't really stay. As we're driving, we find this super, super clear canal where we see some jaguar guardies, jaguar cichlid things. And we saw some mullet, but that was it. The jaguar, I don't know if jaguar guardies eat shiners, but that's what we were using in little like 2-3 shiners. They didn't bite though. I did act very territorial though, so they were probably nesting. This local comes up and is like, "Hey, what are you fishing for? Catch any snook?" Because apparently he's caught snook in this canal. We're like 30 miles from the ocean. Apparently there's snook in there. Sometimes. And he's like, and so my dad's like, we're trying to catch peacock bass, and so he points us out in some really good spots, the spots that really made the day. So we first head out to a golf course. Don't know which golf course, but the golf course's ponds are filled up with the canal water, so anything in those canals can get into the golf course. So we had the same chances that we would have in the canals of tarpon, snook, largemouth bass, peacock bass. You know, I wouldn't even be surprised if there were sharks in there, like the way that the canal was, because it was the canal that we were fishing goes straight into these golf course ponds and then goes straight out, like goes out into a couple different ponds, but in the end it hits the ocean, so anything could have been in there. So we're fishing around here with shiners. I heard somewhere, and say with my dad, that peacock bass like to sit on walls, these coral walls in the Miami canals and ponds. And so we're fishing like 5 feet from shore, and I see a little one. He's not big, but he's big enough to eat the shiner. So I cast in there, and I don't cast far enough, so I reel it back up, and this dude chases it up almost out of the water. I don't hook him, so I hurry up and flick it back in there, and he's like gone. So I'm like, oh man, so I reel it back up to try to find another one, and boom, he's back on. Hook him, ba-bam. First peacock bass, smallest one of the day, but still my first peacock bass. All of the ones that we caught were butterfly peacock bass. If you guys know anything else, if these weren't butterfly peacock bass, please let me know in the comment section below, and I'll do more research. But here he is. You can see his 3 bars down his back. Definitely a peacock. They're really cool looking fish. He was probably only about a foot long, less than a pound probably, but still really nice fish, and he fought really good. Oh wait, it's kind of gone now. Can you see my thumb? It doesn't really look too good. Some of the bigger ones get crazy. So then we release him. We keep going. My dad hooks up, lifts him out of the water after he's about the same size, falls off the hook, falls onto the ground. My dad's like, oh, I'll get it. Goes to grab it, flops off into, because the way we were fishing is this was the land. There was like a beach down here, and then there was the water. So he flops off from the land onto the beach, and then my dad's like, oh man, okay. So he goes down on the little beach thing, and right as he's about to grab it, falls into the water. I'll catch you back in a second, guys. Okay, guys, I'm back. So now what's going on? The fish falls onto this beach. My dad goes to grab it, and he flops into the water. No picture of that guy. So then we keep fishing. None of us get another bite. We both don't get another bite. So, but he's still there. He's like, he just won't eat. He's got lockjaw or something. So after that, we head off to another spot, which he told us about, these apartments that were nearby. If you go on Fishbrain, you can literally see the exact positions that we caught them on, if you have premium, but we don't. But I can still see my own catch map. So we go off to these apartments, and there's this one big pond behind it, and it's got the seawall once again, and it's got these corals on the edge, really cool looking. So now once we're there, we see, oh yeah, and I messed up. I thought about it. after the break I just had. And those fish that we saw in that clear canal were actually blue tilapia. They weren't jaguar guardies, because we saw the jaguar guardies here at this pond, and they wouldn't eat the shiner either, but they were really aggressive towards it, so they kept killing the shiners. They just wouldn't eat it. The female did eat it once, my dad's shiner once, but he wasn't able to hook it. So at this pond, my dad gets the first bite, and it's the biggest fish of the day. He almost cuts him off. Like, the way it is there's a seawall, and then there's coral that goes down, and then it caves in. So this peacock tried to run under here and cut the line off so he wouldn't be caught. Didn't work. My dad got it up right here. Biggest one of the day, probably 3.5 pounds. 3.5 pounds. So that was a big fish, but not the coolest looking one was the other one my dad caught. So that was the biggest one of the day. Take that down. Now, I end up trying to catch the jaguars things. They don't ever bite though. We're down to like our last like 3 shiners, and they're like this long. And so my dad finally finds 2 peacocks sitting on the wall, and he loses bait to them. I'm the only one with bait left. Flip right in there. Aww. Second peacock of the day for me. Bigger than my last one, but not my biggest of the day. My biggest of the day was my last one, which you will see later. So yeah, after this we have to go get more bait. So we went to Kendall's Bait and Tackle, different place, but we were going to somewhere else too. If you guys want to catch peacock bass, there is a canal right behind St. Dominic's Church. St. Dominic's Church is really, really good. The canal behind there. So the peacock, we originally went there and we had another dozen shiners. So, and they were definitely bigger. They were like 3 inches long instead of like 2. And they were really expensive there. Like here we can get a dozen for like $3-4. There was like $8. So St. Dominic's Church is something that my dad found online. The other fish that we've caught so far was based off of local knowledge, so that was pretty cool. So now, once we get there, we fish this bridge. Don't have any luck. We did see a couple iguanas, but I mean that's not really a fish, so I'm not gonna. That doesn't count. So now we end up. We're about to leave, and so we go down, and my dad casts the last shiner that we were going to use, because we were going to go to another spot, but this ended up being our last spot of the day because we ran out of sunlight. My dad casts in, he gets a bite, so I was using the jerk bait because my shiner fell off and we were going to move anyway, so I was just using a jerk bait, and so I put on a shiner, I flick it in, free lining. The golf course ponds we had a bobber on, and then after that, we were free lining the whole time. So I put on a shiner, free lining, and I flip it in there, and he's too small for the hook, so the hook is making him sink. And I hook up on another peacock, the darkest one, my prettiest one that I caught. So there he is. He was the second biggest one. He was my second biggest one. The third to biggest one. We caught 7 peacocks and 1 large eat. So, Then, my dad caught another one, and it was there. And it was male. It was the only male we caught all day because you could see the hump on its head. I hope you can. I think you can. See the hump on its head. He was really cool looking. He was the coolest looking one. He was the coolest looking one. Because he had the black, the yellow, the green, the red on his horn thing. All the different colors that peacocks have were on him. So now, we've got 30 minutes left of daylight, and I hook up again. And so, there he is. That's my PB. Peacock bass for now. Hopefully, we get to go again at some point, but this was also the last fish of the day. See him right there. After we released him, we had like 5 minutes left. So I'm looking around and I see a golden Midas. If you don't know what that is, There were these bright yellow orange cichlids, and they're really rare, so that was a pretty cool thing to see. I also saw some more jaguar guardi things at this pond, or canal as well. So it was pretty cool. And then we ended up getting kicked out at the last spot of the day with like 2 minutes left of sunlight. So, all in all, pretty good day. Did not get kicked out of anything except for the last spot, but we were going to leave anyway. We had one shiner left. And that's it. So, a great day. First peacock. Biggest peacock for me was probably about 2.5, 3 pounds, and my dad's was probably 3 to 3.5 pounds. His thumbs are a lot worse than mine are. They're definitely a lot more aggressive whenever you lip them, because they just shake, shake, shake. My dad ended up bleeding at the bottom of his thumb. That's pretty weird. And that's it. So guys, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more like this, please put a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Next episode of Memory Fishing Freak. I felt like I had something else to say. What was I gonna say? I don't remember. What was I gonna say? It was a great trip. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.